The flickering flames cast grotesque shadows that danced across the ramshackle cabin walls. Anna, her face etched with a mixture of concentration and malice, stirred the bubbling concoction in the iron cauldron that stood before her. The acrid stench of burnt herbs and singed flesh filled the air, thick and suffocating. Elena, trussed like a trussed chicken and suspended precariously over the cauldron, whimpered pleas for mercy. Her once vibrant green eyes were clouded with terror. Anna had been her friend, her confidant. But trust, Elena was learning, was a fickle thing in the world of witches. Their friendship had soured when a handsome stranger named William had arrived in town. Elena, with her youthful beauty and infectious laughter, had captivated him. Anna, older and wizened in the ways of solitude, had felt a prickling jealousy twist in her gut. William, she had believed, was destined to be hers. Fueled by this poisonous emotion, Anna had lured Elena into the guise of a girls' night in. Over steaming mugs of chamomile tea, Elena had confided her dreams of a life with William, a life that Anna now craved to extinguish. With a whispered incantation, Anna stoked the flames beneath the cauldron. The green liquid within churned violently, bubbles erupting on its surface like malevolent eyes. Elena screamed, a high-pitched sound that scraped against the wooden rafters. Her struggles grew weaker, her pleas dissolving into whimpers. Anna watched, a coldness settling in her stomach that had nothing to do with the chill of the night. The heat from the cauldron prickled her skin, yet she felt strangely detached, a voyeur to her own dark deed. As the last of Elena's struggles subsided, and a sickly sweet silence descended, a horrifying realization dawned on Anna. William wasn't the prize she thought he was. He wasn't the key to happiness. In her quest for vengeance, she had become the very monster she feared. The bubbling concoction stilled, leaving behind an oily residue that reflected the flickering firelight. Anna stared into the cauldron, not seeing the remnants of her former friend, but the reflection of a stranger, a woman consumed by a darkness she could never undo. The price of her jealousy, she understood, was far steeper than she could have ever imagined. The weight of her actions pressed down on Anna like a physical force. The air in the cabin felt thick with the cloying sweetness of death, and the once warm fire now seemed to radiate an oppressive heat. Panic gnawed at the edges of her composure. What had she done? Driven by a desperate need to escape the scene of her crime, Anna stumbled out of the cabin. The night was cool and clear, a stark contrast to the inferno raging within her. She looked up at the star-dusted sky, searching for solace, but the heavens offered no answers. As she fled deeper into the woods behind her cabin, the rhythmic croaking of frogs in a nearby marsh filled the silence. The sound, usually comforting, now sent shivers down her spine. It echoed the hollowness within her, a constant reminder of her deed. Days bled into a blur. Anna moved through the motions of her daily life like a ghost. The villagers, ever suspicious of the solitary witch, cast her wary glances. The once vibrant colors of the forest seemed muted, the life drained from them, mirroring the emptiness she felt. One night, haunted by nightmares of Elena's screams, Anna stumbled back to the cabin. Drawn by a morbid curiosity, she approached the cauldron. It sat cold and empty, a cruel monument to her crime. As she stared at it, a single raven landed on the rim, its obsidian eyes gleaming with an unsettling intelligence. "Murderer," it croaked, its voice raspy and ancient. The raven's pronouncement shattered the fragile hold Anna had on her sanity. She screamed, a primal sound that echoed through the silent woods. The raven took flight, its black wings seeming to blot out the sliver of moon peeking through the trees. In its wake, it left behind a single raven feather, a chilling reminder of her guilt and the irrevocable darkness that now clung to her soul. The townsfolk eventually found Anna, a raving madwoman muttering to the trees. They took her away, locking her in a dank cell where the only companions she had were the shadows and the gnawing guilt that threatened to consume her whole. As the years passed, the memory of Elena never faded. It became Anna's constant companion, a chilling echo in the halls of her fractured mind. The price of her jealousy, she learned, was far greater than just William. It was her own humanity. Decades later, a young woman named Alara arrived in the village. With her bright green eyes and infectious laughter, an uncanny resemblance to Elena haunted the whispers of the villagers. Alara, unaware of the dark history, sought out Anna, drawn by a strange pull towards the secluded witch. The guards, wary of Anna's past, hesitated. But Alara, with a youthful charm that mirrored Elena's, managed to convince them. Inside the cell, Anna, a mere shell of her former self, barely reacted to Alara's presence. Alara, sensing a deep sorrow emanating from Anna, sat beside her. "They say you know the secrets of the forest," Alara began softly. "I need your help." Anna's clouded eyes flickered, a spark of recognition igniting within them. Alara's arrival felt like a twist of fate, a chance encounter that rewrote the narrative of her despair. With a raspy voice, Anna revealed the truth about Elena. As Alara listened, tears welled in her eyes. "She was my mother," Alara whispered, her voice trembling. "I never knew why she disappeared." A sliver of hope pierced through Anna's hardened heart. Perhaps, she thought, there was a chance for redemption. She poured out her knowledge, teaching Alara about the hidden language of the forest, the power of herbs, and the delicate balance of magic. Alara, a quick learner, blossomed under Anna's tutelage. Together, they ventured into the woods, collecting ingredients for a potent elixir. Not a deadly potion this time, but one brewed with remorse and the hope for healing. The night of the full moon, they gathered around the cold, forsaken cauldron. As Alara chanted an incantation, a soft green light emanated from the concoction. It wasn't a violent bubbling, but a gentle simmer, a promise of renewal. Anna, for the first time in years, felt a flicker of warmth spread through her. The weight of guilt seemed to lessen, replaced by a fragile hope. Perhaps, she thought, forgiveness wasn't out of reach, not entirely. As dawn approached, Alara handed Anna a steaming cup of the potion. "Drink," she said gently. "For my mother and for yourself." Anna's gnarled hand grasped the cup, and as she drank, a wave of peace washed over her. The potion wouldn't erase the past, but it offered a chance to rewrite the ending. Anna, the once vengeful witch, now a mentor, looked upon Alara, a reflection of the life she had taken. In her eyes, she saw not just Elena, but a chance for redemption, a legacy of magic woven with sorrow and a flicker of forgiveness. Years later, Anna, frail but with a newfound serenity in her eyes, sat on her porch swing, watching Alara tend to the herb garden that had flourished under their care. Alara, now a respected village healer, had woven the story of her mother and Anna's redemption into a cautionary tale, a reminder of the destructive power of jealousy and the enduring strength of forgiveness. One crisp autumn evening, a familiar raven landed on the porch railing. Alara, no longer fearing the bird, recognized it as a symbol not just of darkness, but of transformation. The raven cawed once, a softer sound this time, before taking flight. Alara turned to Anna, a knowing smile gracing her lips. "Another soul seeking guidance?" she asked gently. Anna, her eyes crinkling at the corners, nodded. A flicker of the old fire, tempered by wisdom and regret, danced in her gaze. "Perhaps," she rasped, her voice stronger than it had been in years, "there is still good I can do." As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Alara and Anna sat together, ready to face the future, their bond forged not just by magic, but by the transformative power of forgiveness and the enduring hope for redemption.